Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. How is this guy even allowed to speak? How has this member of the Senate not completely lost all credibility? And how is he still the guy that all of these fake left-wing media outlets continue to bring on their shows as the Senate intelligence expert? Of course, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Serial liar, evidence manipulator, evidence fabricator, Adam Pencil Neck Schiff. If there is anyone in the realm of US politics and media who should not be trusted and is no credible source on anything, it's this guy. Yet every single time you turn on the TV and you try to get any information from the mainstream on what's going on with this January 6th probe, hearing, committee, whatever the hell you want to call it, this is the guy whose face you see every time. And it's the same thing over and over again. It's been the same story, crying wolf, since Hillary Clinton's Russian collusion delusion. He's still doing and saying the exact same thing. And the media expects us to sit there and listen and say, well, this time, I think Adam Schiff might be right. No, Adam Schiff is never right. Adam Schiff is always lying, and nothing he says should be trusted. So let's take a look what serial liar Adam Schiff is saying this time. And then, of course, let's continue to rag on this failure that is the January 6th hearing. It just keeps on getting worse. It keeps on getting juicier as Nancy Pelosi's witch hunt becomes more of an embarrassment than it already was. We've got a bunch of stuff to get into, folks, so let's roll the tape. All right, friends, so some age-old knowledge. Never overpromise if you're gonna underdeliver. And this is a lesson that poor little Adam Schiffy never learned. Adam Schiff says, Tuesday's January 6th hearing will show evidence of Trump's role in fake electors scheme.
You have evidence that the then president was involved in putting a fake slate of electors out there. Do you have evidence that he directed it?
I don't want to get ahead of our hearing. We'll show during our hearing what the president's role was in trying to get states to name alternate slates of electors, how that scheme depended initially on hopes that the legislatures would reconvene and bless it.
Will we see that he directed it?
They didn't, and they pressed forward with it anyway.
Will we see that he directed it?
I don't want to get ahead of what we'll show you during the hearing, but we will show you what we know about his role in this.
You see these slimy politicians, the same thing we saw from Jamie Raskin. By the way, Jamie Raskin's claim didn't exactly deliver, but every time he's asked, do you have evidence? He responds with a very disingenuous, clearly political answer, or rather political non-answer, that he just doesn't want to get ahead of the hearings. No, of course not. Why would Adam Schiff want to get ahead of the hearings, even though he seemingly gets ahead of everything with all of his lies, assumptions, and jumps and promises of guilt and evidence that never actually materialize? He just doesn't want to get ahead of the hearing. Once again, folks, if Adam Schiff actually had evidence, we wouldn't need to keep waiting and keep watching Nancy Pelosi's primetime failure sham of a hearing, which I think at this point people are just really tuning out and not even watching anymore. We wouldn't need to watch any of it because it would have been leaked to the media already. Adam Schiff would have probably brought it to the media himself. It's just another empty claim, an empty accusation that's gonna lead to nothing. We've been here before. Adam's promise of more than circumstantial evidence that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians, the constant promise of evidence.
Well, I think there's plenty of evidence of collusion or conspiracy in plain sight.
Mueller found no collusion between President Trump or his campaign in Russia.
Adam Schiff says there's plenty of evidence of collusion or conspiracy, which of course there wasn't. And now of course it's the exact same thing. Serial liar Adam Schiff urges DOJ to pursue criminal charges against Trump for engaging in alleged multiple criminal acts. What does that even mean, multiple criminal acts? Name one and prove it. He can't, because Adam Schiff is the biggest liar in politics. We all remember when he lied about the whistleblower or his meeting with the whistleblower.
We have not spoken directly with the whistleblower. We would like to.
So the whistleblower, according to this report, met with a member of Adam Schiff's staff.
I mean, just look at Donald Trump's face there at the end. We all remember when Adam Schiff faked the phone call transcript during an impeachment trial
I want you to make up dirt on my political opponent, understand lots of it.
It, of course, does not match what was actually released whatsoever.
And of course, we all remember just recently during another January 6th sham hearing, Adam Schiff doctored text messages between Mark Meadows and Representative Jim Jordan. This guy's a real piece of work, and that's the PG-friendly way of saying it. He's a real piece of something, I'll tell you that much. But you can tell that they're getting desperate to keep this thing alive when Adam Schiff is going in hyperdrive, in overdrive, trying to push the narrative, rather trying to sell the narrative. That's what this is. They're trying to sell it instead of actually proving anything of substance. And if anything, that just shows how desperate they are. And notice how all of a sudden the goalposts are shifting. It started off with Donald Trump's massive conspiracy to overthrow the government, leading a violent insurrection. And now they're so focused on electors and the pressure that was put on electors in the 2020 election. Oh, how the goalposts have shifted. And I've been hearing media analysts and legal analysts on MSNBC talking about how vile and illegal that was. Well, once again, it shows you how dishonest these people are. First of all, there's literally a clip that's gone viral on the internet with Van Jones from CNN during the 2020 election, where he goes over the entire process, the entire legal process, where electors can choose not to confirm a presidential candidate. And then, of course, these days, lefties are very conveniently omitting the fact that after the 2016 election, there was a massive, widespread effort and campaign from media figures and Democrats and celebrities urging the exact same thing. I've gathered tons of evidence to back up my claim here.
And just 36 other conscientious Republican electors could make a difference.
By voting your conscience on December 19th.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
As you know, the Constitution gives electors the right to vote for any eligible person.
Any eligible person, no matter which party they belong to.
But it should certainly be someone you consider especially competent.
Especially competent to serve as President of the United States of America.
Left-wing activists now resorting to threats of violence against electoral college electors in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, and Texas.
Now, in most years, no one pays much attention to this process. The Electoral College vote is something of an afterthought. But this time, electors have been under a lot of pressure. Some even received hate mail and threats because some voters wanted them to change their votes and deny Donald Trump the presidency.
Protesters in Madison tried to convince electors to not vote for Donald Trump. They disrupted a meeting after that vote was announced.
The votes are 10 votes, Donald J. Trump.
A fundamental, they think, threat to liberal democracy that electors should be persuaded and pressured on Monday to part with what their pledge is and vote against Donald Trump.
Yes, they absolutely should do that. Absolutely.
I understand that you have received some messages, obviously some lobbying from people. You've also received threats.
It was a huge story during the 2016 election that disgruntled Democrat voters were sending very violent threats to electors, urging them to deny electoral victory to Donald Trump in 2016. And of course, we know that there was a very similar effort during the Bush versus Gore election. Also, here are some more headlines from 2016. Rogue electors brief Clinton camp on anti-Trump plan. Electors are being harassed, threatened, and bid to stop Trump. People chose Hillary Clinton. Now we need to stop Donald Trump from trashing our democracy. All real headlines from 2016. But now the Democrats want to tell you that when the other side does it, it's proof of a massive widespread criminal conspiracy and that the DOJ must lock these dangerous people up forever, never to see sunlight ever again. Give me a break. And actually the perfect segue, speaking of a break. You know who I think really needs a break here? Once again, the American people, the American viewer, who is just not interested in this sham hearing, as now even the left-wing media has to admit.
I talked to voters around the first hearing, and I definitely have a sense that people are not paying as much attention. This isn't the same kind of grab your popcorn, silence your phone, schedule that viewing type of television.
Not to mention the other day, where Nancy Pelosi's primetime January 6th sham was apparently so unappealing and so uninteresting to NBC viewers that NBC cut the feed and went to golf highlights or some golf event.
As we come up at the top of the hour, we're going to have to end our coverage of this January 6th hearing on the NBC network. My colleagues and I will continue our coverage on the hearings on our streaming platform, NBC News Now. For everyone else, U.S. Open golf begins momentarily. I'm Lester Holt for NBC News in New York. Good day.
And now you even have NBC hosts slamming the hearing as being biased and asking leading questions, even talking about confirmation bias.
How is this committee avoiding confirmation bias? Because I don't know how they are.
I didn't think Schiff's questioning was particularly effective. What you saw was a lot of what are called leading questions. Schiff was essentially testifying and then asking the witness to rubber stamp with a yes or no at the end.
Wouldn't you have wanted it reversed for public relations purposes? Like, I would have wanted to hear Bowers say the things that Schiff asked him.
Yeah, that's why we have rules about that in court. We ask for, in direct testimony, when it's your own witness, that witness has to tell the story. You have to get the evidence from the witness. You can't state it and then ask the witness to say, Now,
once again, as I previously stated, this January 6th hearing is one of the worst political calculations, worst political moves I've ever seen. Don't worry, hoping Democrats. Adam Schiff says there's evidence this time, and it must be true because, you know, Adam Schiff, he's a real trustworthy figure, an absolute clown show. The results are clear as this headline depicts. January 6th panel not swaying swing state Republicans. In fact, it's pushing them in the opposite direction. One of the biggest flops and biggest fails I've ever seen. It's time for Adam Schiff to crawl back under the rock from which he came and never show his face again. He is one of the most discredited figures, if not the most discredited figure in American politics. Keep hoping for criminal charges, leftoids. Not gonna happen. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.